Hey guys, welcome to the Scottie Show. Today I have a returning guest, the great Keiko. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well today. What about you?
I'm doing good. So how has going into 2022, like how are you feeling right now? Like with music and like where you're at and like how things are going? How
hmm
are you feeling?
I think it's going pretty well. It's only the sixth day of the year. No crisis yet, no COVID yet, so doing pretty well.
Yeah.
How about you?
Kind of the same. I'm still like doing shows and stuff, but now like Chicago is kind of like getting a little strict.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
so I'm like navigating it that like that kind of way and just figuring out what places are not like locked down or closed. So
hmm
yeah, just figuring that kind of stuff out and yeah, it's just weird making music and doing like something else like comedy and things like that. Like
hmm
how did you how do you feel about like balancing when you were going to school, then you got into your profession and you were doing music, how is it balancing that?
Thinking about it, it wasn't actually as easy as I thought it was. Um, I remember our last video, I kind of said the same thing, like kind of do what you want to do at the moment.
Hmm.
But it's not as easy nowadays when you kind of have to get things done back to back. That's kind of
Hmm.
how last year was for me. I kind of had to do school and then study for a license exam while I was also like traveling a lot last
Yeah.
year, sort
Yeah.
of. Yeah, I would just say like, it just wasn't easy actually, to be honest. But you kind of just go with it, go with the flow kind of thing.
Yeah, because I feel like when I'm making music, I feel like it's hard for me to make myself take myself seriously now as an artist sometimes. And then
hmm
because I like doing stand-up comedy. So like I have to like balance that kind of thing out. And like I'm also in school too. So
Oh,
like
what are you in school for?
nursing. So
Oh,
yeah,
for real?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
interesting.
want to do like my overall goal is to become a traveling nurse so I can travel to each like state
Oh,
or
it's kind of
whatever and
cutting
then do
off for me.
stand-up. Oh, it's cutting
Oh,
off.
you're good. Okay. It was
Okay.
like cutting off. What were you saying?
But yeah, my overall goal, I wanted for like to like take like my stand-up to like another level so I can like travel and be in other states. Like I want to like do travel nursing so I can be in other states and do stand-up. Like
For
because they pay
sure.
for all your expenses and stuff. So I'm like,
Oh, do they? Oh, that's pretty
yeah,
nice.
yeah, they pay for
So you
your
don't
living
gotta
and
like pay
yeah.
for,
Yeah, you
some
don't come
stuff.
out of pocket for anything. So
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah.
nice.
What are so we're talking about the new year.
hmm
What were some of like your what are your resolutions for the New Year's?
Pretty much for now, just kind of take it day by day. Last year was like a huge rush for me, doing school and then in the beginning I was like finishing a ton of internships. So, well, it was
Mm,
just like yeah, I was just kind of in a rush like last year. I couldn't really, just chill out. I kind of had to study a lot and, just get things done last year.
yeah.
Definitely want to, improve my music for sure. Uh, Lots of, songwriting and stuff.
Mm.
Um, Fitness is like a huge deal for me now. I'm trying to like get on the treadmill like every day for like,
Yeah.
half an hour. But, I really enjoy the
Yeah.
treadmill just because, I like to listen to music and, listen to interviews and
Hmm.
whatnot. Yeah, I think, how resolutions are, you kind of, have this like long list of stuff you want to do. And then sometimes, not all of it, works out like as
Yeah.
easy as you
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just overall, just do better than I did last year. Just, grow. How about yourself?
Hmm. My New Year's resolutions was pretty much to just do more stand up. Uh and like pretty much yeah, I just want to do more stand up. I really
Mhm.
love stand up comedy.
I could
Uh
never. I don't know how you do that.
I love it. I like my
hmm
when I did like my first like big show. And like it's kind of crazy because like the trajectory that I'm going at like as a stand-up comedian is like going way faster than what I was as, and I can admit it as a musician or an artist. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, I'm like, you can like, I could tell a difference. And I'm like, I have a bigger payout with this than right now what I'm doing with this. And then
Mhm.
maybe like, like gaining fans from doing stand-up, they'll listen to the music if they want to. That's an
Mhm.
option. So
Right.
right now, like stand-up has really like been like the main thing that I really want to do. Obviously graduate and get done with school. And yeah, like I
Wait, what year are you in right now?
right now I only got like I got like a year or like two left to get like my
Mhm.
associate. So because
Nice.
once I get like my associates in as an RN, I can just automatically just just pass my like my licensing test to just become a licensed nurse. So that's like
Mhm.
one of the things I like about nursing. Like once you get like your associates in registered nursing, you can just get your license and
For
just
sure, for
yeah.
sure. It's not for
But
RN, is it? Or is it just like,
yeah, it's for
oh,
you can get your associates as an RN.
oh, I thought it was
And
like
then
4 years for that.
yeah, some hospitals they'll they'll just pay for you to get your bachelor's just so you
Mhm.
can get it, but you can get your
Right.
associates in RN and then take your test and get your license and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, like overall just getting that like getting that done and yeah, just doing better than what I did last year.
For
One of
sure.
the things I noticed is that you've been definitely putting out like a lot of like new music like now, like and
Kind
you're
of,
getting
yeah.
into like yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
wasn't, very, I guess, active with my own stuff. I was kind of just doing collabs,
hmm
whenever I had the chance. Just, I think it was just kind of the easiest thing for me to do at the time last year.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I was like, because you were dropping hella frequently, like, and you're on TikTok and stuff, and you're like putting that kind of
Hmm.
stuff out. That's dope. Like, I really fuck with that.
For
Um,
sure.
what is like some of the new like inspirations that you're having, like just to keep on making music
Inspirations.
and like writing and stuff? What?
I mean, I think all artists, life is supposed to be like your inspiration, I guess. But I also have like some new favorite artists and bands,
hmm
kind of like gone back in time, sort of like there's no really like current artist that inspires me. It's mostly like older music.
hmm
And yeah, I mean, I have like a huge list right here in front of me. I could like just go on forever, but I don't really
Name
think
five. Give us five.
okay. Okay, we'll start with the 70s here.
Okay.
The band Heart. I don't know if you know Heart. They're like a sister duo. They made that
Okay.
song Barracuda. And
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. They're super dope. I love the Kinks.
Ooh,
The Kinks.
Barracuda.
Yeah, yes, that
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Mhm.
See,
I
dude,
love it.
that was my shit on Guitar Hero.
Oh,
Like
for
Guitar
sure.
Hero 3, like that was the like I was playing that. I was playing Black Magic Woman. Like
Hmm.
yeah, like those like Guitar Hero 3 put me on hella like bands that like I wouldn't have
For
found out about.
sure. Right?
And like it's just crazy. Oh, like
Yeah.
what's the other ones you name about to name off?
Okay. Well, obviously Queen. Queen's like,
hmm
legendary, whatever. 80s, Cyndi Lauper, The Cure, Duran Duran, The Bangles, Blondie, Joe and Jen, The Blackhearts, all those
Yeah.
good artists. The Jesus and Mary Chain, Haircut 100. I guess the biggest right now would be Cocteau Twins.
Okay.
Huge influence on me right now. As well as Liz Fair. I got her record behind me over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only play like the first side because her music's kind of like I wouldn't say like inappropriate, but just like to play out loud. Like people would be like, "What are you listening to?" Sonic Youth, lots of Rook Assault, Nirvana type stuff, Strawberry Switchblade, and the list goes on. Biggest one, like I said, was Cocteau Twins, and as well as Mazzy Star. They're like a '90s kind of like indie
Mm.
pop, if you've heard of them. They're pretty chill.
No, like I have never heard of them, but what are like what kind of like vibes like are they like giving? Like like who would you compare them to? That's like like well kind of like well known.
Um, Honestly, I really can't compare them because they really
They
just
have their
have
own
their
sound.
own sound. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
dang, yeah, I gotta listen to them. I
yeah,
gotta check them
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Mazzy
I gotta
Star
check
is
them out.
super great. Hope Sandoval and well, Hope Sandoval is the singer of Mazzy Star, and she created like her other project, Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions, which has the drummer of My Bloody Valentine, if you know
Yeah.
that band. Yeah,
Hmm.
they do some pretty good stuff. It's really just like kind of mellow and, something you would listen to just kind of lay down and, just think about life, I guess. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's crazy because like my homie put me on like Russian pop punk bands. Like
Hmm.
the music that their style is very like it's very it sounds like way better than what we was like making in like the 80s. Do you know who Moch Ladon is? Like
I don't think so.
they were gonna, yeah, they're a dope ass Russian pop punk band, and like I don't even know why I'm talking about Russian pop punk.
Russian pop punk.
Like,
That's interesting. Mhm.
no, it was very different. Like my homie sent it to me, and he was like, "Bro, check these people out." I was high as hell listening to them, so I probably could have just been just highlighting, just thinking like these people are fire, like, but
Mhm.
I could have
Yeah.
just been high. I don't know. I gotta listen to it sober and see how I feel.
Hmm.
What animes you watching
What
nowadays?
what was that?
What animes are you watching nowadays?
So I just recently watched a show called Odd Taxi. Super interesting. The main character is a walrus. And just
What?
yeah, it's just a very you kind of have to watch it to kind of understand. I don't really want to have to explain it, but that's a super good 13 episode anime. Would definitely
Hmm.
recommend. You mean just like shows or whatever?
Yeah, shows, movies, like
Mhm.
anything.
Definitely a lot of, well, I went like recently, a couple months in, kind of late to the Wong Kar-wai films, if you know
Mm,
about him. He's a Chinese director. He made movies like Fallen Angels. I have a poster with that.
I gotta
Uh,
check this out. What is
yeah, Fallen Angels, 2046, In the Mood for Love, and I think, yeah, I think those are oh, Chungking Express. Really good movie as well.
are these on Hulu or any streaming platforms?
I'm pretty sure you'll find them all on just like kissasian.com where all like the,
Okay,
Asian
okay,
movies are.
okay,
But yeah,
okay.
just a lot of, old kind of Asian movies. Old Boy's also really good as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think I've heard of Old Boys before.
Old Boy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
a
think I
Korean
heard
movie.
of, yeah.
I can't remember the
I
director.
think
I
I
feel
heard of
so
Old
bad.
Boy.
It's the director of Parasite. I'm pretty sure he made that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Parasite's dope. I like
Really
Parasite.
strong though.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know who Justin Chon is?
Sounds familiar.
He
Who's that?
made he made it was about the riots in LA. The movie was called Gook. It's on Netflix. It's a really it's like
Hmm.
about these two Korean teenagers that run their parents like shop or whatever. And across
Hmm.
the street is this other Korean guy, and he doesn't speak English, but the two like Korean kids that grew up in LA, they know how to speak English, and they kind of in the streets, and it's crazy. Like in the Korean dudes that are running their parents' store and stuff, they're like cool with like the black people and shit, and like it just talks
Hmm.
about like pretty much
Oh, I
demonstrate.
think I saw something with that.
And it's black and
Yeah,
white, and the movie's black
right.
and white. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the movie's black and white. Yeah, Justin Chon is so talented when it comes to directing and
Mm,
making a film. He's
mhm.
definitely dope. Um, how are you when you think about music and everything, and how people see things as like careers or whatever? How do you feel about society and like the views on music as like a career or as like something that you want to do to make money?
Mhm. Hold on. Can you say the beginning part of that question? The internet kind
I
of
know, yeah,
like
this is yeah,
cutting
cut
it off.
out. Um, so how do you feel about the views of how society sees people that want to do music or art or
Mhm.
doing something like stand-up comedy as like a career or
Mhm.
like that you want to do?
I definitely think, times have changed a little bit. I mean, you see a ton of, people on the internet, kind of blowing up a little bit just by doing,
Hmm.
their thing, and it's great. Um, you definitely have to take some extra steps for, it to be a career, but the hard work definitely pays off, I would say, in
Hmm.
the long run. I mean, you know, people will still say like, oh, you do music, you know, what's your other job? Because, you know, especially if you're not signed to a label already, or, you know, if you're, you know, in LA and you have a record deal or whatever, you know, people will kind of have their own opinion about it. I mean, it depends, like, you know, where they were raised, or, you know, how
Yeah,
they were raised, you know, definitely. If
yeah.
you grow up, like, you know, in a poor place, you know, people can't really see you like blowing up with music unless, you know, you're just, you know, really good at what you do, you know what I mean?
It's true. You really have to. There's people that this is gonna sound kind of like crazy. There's people that are really good that don't get a chance to like make it because they, what you said, you got to put in like that extra step to get results
Mhm.
or whatever. There's people that are really good that don't get to reach that because they forget to take that extra step. And
For
there's people
sure.
that aren't that really good, but they're willing to take that extra step. They're
Mhm.
willing to put
Definitely,
in
you
the work. They're
definitely see
willing to
that.
grind. And like that's what I really respect um about like a lot of people. Like you're someone that's really, really good that I think you should have already been signed to a label. Like your time, like your songs are lit. You have
Yeah.
the things that you write are really good. Um, like I said, like you're willing to put in like that extra step, and like people need to like look at that kind of stuff and pay attention to it. Especially if you want to be an artist and you want to do those kind of things, you're gonna have to do things that make you uncomfortable to like break out
For
of your
sure.
that shell. And sometimes we have like imposter syndrome, like
Right.
you'll do something and you're like, am I really like doing this right now? Like
Mhm.
have you ever had that feeling before? Am
Yes,
I
for
really doing
sure.
this? When was the
Yeah.
first time you had that feeling?
Um, for some reason, I kind of feel that way when I'm like performing at a show. I kind of feel like, oh, I don't know, like, am I actually like, you know, good enough to perform sometimes? I get just too nervous and it's kind of like an out of body thing. Like, I just feel so awkward, you know? I'm just
But
like,
I love
you know what
that
I
feeling though.
mean?
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it though. It's the best feeling ever, especially like when I'm getting ready to do like stand up, and then I remember when I did like my second like big show, they were like, yo, you're gonna do 12 to 15 minutes. And I was like, oh shit, I never did 12. Like I never
12 to
just,
15.
yeah, like
And you like
that.
freestyle all of it, don't you? Or
No,
mostly.
you have to write
Oh,
jokes.
yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you just have to remember them.
Right. That's the
You
thing.
have
That's
to
the
have
thing.
a
Yeah.
whole, set in your like so pretty much you write a whole set,
Mhm.
you write jokes, and then like you work on them like in open mics. Because the only way you get
Right.
better at writing jokes and joke telling is actually going to do it. Like, and that was the difference that I learned from doing music and doing stand up. Because with music, I could just write the song, sing it in my head, do whatever, go in the studio, listen to it, and it's kind of it's different because you really just have to just go out there and just perform pretty much. And yeah,
For sure.
some of it is freestyle. You have to warm the crowd up, and you have to
Oh, that's
acknowledge
not
them.
something I'm good at.
You have to acknowledge
Yeah.
them and make your stage. You have to have stage presence, and it's all like it's super like nerve wracking. Like,
I
but
bet.
I love it because it's like what breaks you out of your shell.
For
It
sure.
opens you up, and just like what you said, like just performing and stuff, like it's you're definitely, your heart's beating. You just
Right. You just do
just
it, you
yeah, you
know.
just got the nerves. You just got the nerves
Yeah, the
going.
nerves, you know. You kind of don't you when after you do it, you know, you kind of forget how nervous you were. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
you know, like I just did that, I guess. That's cool. You know.
So what's been like your influence to like do the TikTok stuff and
Mhm.
just to get on that platform and post on there and go crazy?
You know, when I make TikToks, I'm actually having really fun with it. Like a lot of fun, somewhat, because I've always kind of wanted to do kind of more videos and, you know, put myself out there and just kind of be silly, you know, be goofy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's also there's like, you know, a creative aspect to it, and, you know, showing your creativity. You know, TikTok's just another, it's kind of just like buying YouTube or whatever. It's just kind of a quick way for people to find you. And, you know, I think I
Hmm.
just like it because, you know, you could be on anybody's For You page nowadays. So it's,
Yeah.
you know, a good place to promote and, you know, just show yourself.
I would say that as like a social media app, that has one of the best algorithms.
Right.
Because Twitter algorithm is like it got
Mm-mm.
all like weird and stuff, and like all
Yeah.
the algorithms like has like really changed. And I remember back then, like it was hella people that had like a lot of followers, and they took all those people like out. Like, did you
Right.
remember like that whole everyone was getting sent to like Twitter jail, and then like after Twitter jail, they
Mhm.
just lost their accounts. And everyone lost their shit. It was crazy, but
Mhm.
yeah, because like the whole like algorithm was like picking up stuff and people that like posted videos with other people's music, and it was getting everyone. But how do you feel about like SoundCloud and like where that's at and like a space? A lot of people think SoundCloud's dead. A lot of people
Mhm.
don't like they don't fuck with it no more. Everyone's really on either Spotify, Apple
Yeah.
Music, YouTube. How do you feel about? I still like SoundCloud though. I find a
Yeah.
lot of good producers, good artists still through SoundCloud. How do
Right.
you feel about SoundCloud?
I don't really think it's dead. I mean, there's just a ton of more communities, being built in there. And for me, like since I've been there for a minute, I kind of think it's become less collaborative in a way where, people would DM like their tracks, nowadays is just like through email or whatever. But
Hmm.
I definitely think the communities have become more like locked, where like people don't really want to jump from, different places. They kind of want to just stay in whatever, like artist group they like or circle, you know what I mean? And it's like
Hmm.
I want to say it's bad in a way. It's just definitely changed. Like, the term underground isn't really the same as it was, before. Cause I mean, someone could be underground, but if you ask someone on the street, like, hey, do you know who like Lil something is? And they could still say no, even if they have like a
Hmm.
billion, followers. And it's
Hmm.
just funny to me because, everybody's kind of still underground, nowadays,
Yeah.
unless they're like out there and, whatever media is
Yeah.
showing, the big artists. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
how I think about it.
Yeah, I feel back in like 2015-ish, 2016, maybe 2014, there was a lot of SoundCloud unity. And then around like 2019, 2020, like things were getting like it was a weird shift.
Hmm.
A lot of like a lot of people like yeah, it was just a really big like shift, and it was crazy. It happened really fast. And how do you feel about like that time period?
You mean like the few, like now,
Yeah,
like how
compared
it
to
is?
now, yeah, yeah. Like compared to back then, like how do you feel like how it was like back then?
I think it's definitely the way it is now because how people find out that you can make money from music. They just want to put it on, places where it's more profitable and where people will
Hmm.
actually like stream. And SoundCloud has like the stupid ads like that are like 2 minutes now, so people
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
really find interest in that, and that's why some artists are kind of not putting their
Posting
music
on
on
it,
there
yeah.
now. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't post my last song on it because I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like yeah, yeah. And most people nowadays have Spotify or Apple Music. You got either
right.
people got either one now, and I feel with just like DistroKid being out and a lot of these
Hmm.
like platforms where you can release your own music and get your own like returns back without having to go through a label or whatever. It's just made it easier for like the artist to just post it there instead of posting it to SoundCloud. A lot of people they make fun of like getting the payments of SoundCloud.
Yeah, for sure. DistroKid.
Like
Yeah.
they're so childish because so many people brought so many listens to their platform, and I'm just like the nerve to even just pay someone that much amount of money after they
Hmm.
gave you millions of streams and millions of like plays and downloads to your platform. Like, and even what artists are getting paid now off of like streams. I feel like artists should make way more, especially if you're bringing an audience to their platform. And people are willing to buy the iPhones to get Apple Music. People are willing to.
Right. Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're bringing so much more attention to like their platform, and they literally give like the artist little to nothing. Like you really have to
Right.
grind hard, like grind super super hard. And I don't know if the labels or the platforms really like, respect that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely think, people are being choosy with, you know, where they want to listen, and, you know,
Hmm.
they've kind of become biased, like, oh, I only listen on Apple Music, or I only listen on, Spotify, or there's some people in between. Sometimes they'll listen on SoundCloud, and that's cool, but it's like, you kind of have to find where your crowd is. If your crowd's in SoundCloud, keep dropping there. Of course people are gonna comment and be more interactive. Just depends where people are more alive, I guess.
If Apple Music or if Spotify get a comment section for music and podcasts, it's over for SoundCloud, 100%. Because if you can comment on there and leave comments, people love leaving comments.
Right.
That's like one of the one things that Joe Rogan on his podcast he was talking about. He was like, if Spotify had comments, they would beat a lot of people out. He was like, if Apple Music had comments and stuff on their podcasting platforms, it would be honestly good for the artist and good for the other for the platform. But I was gonna go into another thing of I know what I was gonna say. You know how Spotify signed DJ Academics and like Joe Rogan and all these other people to like Spotify deals?
I actually don't know about that, really.
Okay, all right. So Joe Rogan got I think a $300 million deal to move his podcast off of YouTube to Spotify. And I think DJ Academics, I think he got like a $50 million deal to move to get his podcast on off the record. They signed they was gonna re-sign Joe Budden, but I think Joe Budden left. But yeah, they signed a lot of like podcasters now. Do you think they'll sign artists?
Maybe.
Or do you think they
already? I definitely see like that kind of happening. I mean, labels kind of dictate wherever but labels want their music everywhere pretty much. But
I was gonna say, if you get signed to a streaming platform, imagine how many streams you would get. Like you would be the number one artist every time.
Right.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Do you think that do you think they already signed some artists?
I don't know. Maybe.
You think it's possible? Or Apple Music? I would, that would be a dope label. But yeah, I was just like thinking about that. I don't know, like it was just a random thought. I'm like, they're signing podcasters. I'm pretty sure they would sign an artist maybe. What are like besides like the whole SoundCloud thing and like where do you like when you're thinking about the end of like 2022? Where do you want to see like the music? Where do you want to see like? Do you want to do more shows? Do you want to perform more music videos, more projects? Like, where do you see like navigating 2022? Like, what's the picture? Like, what is it like? Besides doing better than last year, like what going to depth? Like, where do you see like they like navigating? Like, where do you see it going?
I mean, it's kind of hard to just like do it like talk in a line of like what I want to happen. I mean, obviously, I want a lot to happen, but it's like, I kind of just want to do more of, a little bit of everything, songwriting, making some more art. I mean, I'm in the middle of making more art for some merch I'm gonna put out in a little bit because I feel like it's finally time to do that. But yeah, for sure, definitely more of everything. I don't really, I mean, of course, more shows. That would be so sick. I know a lot of people, are like, when are you coming here? When are you coming, over there? It's just...
like that's like what I want to. That's for me as like a fan. That is like really what I want to see. Like that's so it'd be so dope to see you like doing like a sold out show or just doing like doing a show in general and people like enjoying the music. Because then when people see you out there and stuff like. That's just like the most like amazing thing because people see you out here, they're like, and I'm pretty sure with the show that you've already done, like people appreciate that you came out there to like do your thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely like see that as like a really big like thing for you because people really like your music. So I already know you're gonna like do what you got to do.
Thank you.
What I like. Have you ever watched the anime Initial D?
A little bit of it, yeah.
A little bit of it. So like that is like that car, and I want a car like that. Like, and I want to put a crazy engine in it. That's like one of my dream cars. Like what kind of dream car? What kind of dream car do you want?
Whenever someone asks me this, I'm like, I really like my current car.
What,
Like, I
what
mean,
car you got?
I just have like a basic Honda HR-V. I mean, it just like has everything I need in a car, really. Like it has enough space, you know. When I moved out, I pretty much took everything I had and put it in there, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but if I had like an already built, car, like it would just be a really nice Miata or something, or just, a nice looking manual, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know like cars, you have to really work on them to make them look good. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. See, like I like a simple looking car, but something that's like fast.
Hmm.
I like a fast car. Like I like feeling like, I can go 200 in the car, like in a car. I want to be able to I want the
Ooh,
car to look simple,
200, huh?
but yeah,
Oh
200.
no.
I want to go 200. I want to feel like going 200 feels like. I want
Uh-huh.
to, I want something that goes, I heard the Teslas go really fast. I know some people that have Teslas
Hmm.
and that go to the gym that I go to, and this guy brought his Tesla and he had it dancing in the street, and I was like, yo, this is the
Dancing.
most. Yes, it was dancing. It moved like back and forth, and it opened the doors, and it was crazy, and it was like lighting up, and it was like honking and like singing a song. It was. I was like, wow. I was like, what kind of car is this? Like these. It's like the car game is really crazy. Do you like any car games? What games do you play?
Car games, not really. I mean, Need for Speed was kind of a big thing
Need
when
for
I was
Speed
growing
was
up.
Need for Speed Hot
Yeah,
Pursuit
especially
2.
on
Oh
on the
yes,
DS
yeah.
and the
Ah, I
Xbox.
swear to
Yeah,
God. I swear to God, yes.
for
What
sure.
games are you playing right now? Because I see a PS4 back there.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't really played on my PlayStation in a minute, but I think the last game I like finished was Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Okay,
and
okay.
I was, replaying The Last of Us a couple times. Oh, and Ghost of Tsushima. Top. I
Oh,
guess those are
yeah, it's
just like my
fire.
top three right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Last of Us is definitely one of the like it's the mechanics and how you can like lean back and stuff and how you can
Hmm.
like crawl and everything. Because I didn't play it when it first came out. I played it when it came
Mm.
on when it got
Yeah,
on
me
PlayStation
too.
Now. Yeah, I didn't play it when
The
it first came
remastered
out.
version.
Yeah, the remastered
Yeah.
and they got The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation
Oh
Now.
yeah. Did you play that one?
Yeah, let's just go crazy.
I
It's fire.
think it was pretty good too.
Yeah, you can shoot somebody's leg off. Like I'm like, this is crazy. It's honestly one of the most craziest games ever because the details and everything. It's a lit game. Ghost of Tsushima is lit. I haven't beaten the game yet, but
Oh, you haven't? Dang, you gotta beat
no,
it.
I just
It took
ride
me
around.
forever to beat it
Yeah,
too.
I just like
Especially
ride
when you ride
around
around your
and
horse. Yeah,
yeah,
same.
I just like
Same
riding
low
around on my
key. Just
horse.
like listen to music and just ride your horse.
I swear to God. I swear. I'll be doing that shit in Red Dead Redemption low key. I just get on my horse and just ride,
Hmm.
and
I
I'll
never played that one.
you never play Red. Oh,
Mm-mm.
you gotta know
No.
what it feels like to be a cowboy. You gotta,
I mean,
and
I live in Texas. I'm
that's what
already.
I'm saying. You gotta just for the respect of Texas. You
Yeah,
got.
maybe.
It's a really good game though. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Riding around on yeah, like I said, I never beat it, but I just ride around on a horse and run the fade with a couple like with other
Like,
samurai and shit.
yeah, for
I like
sure.
this. The storyline is dope though.
Yeah, you gotta
It,
finish it. That
yeah,
ending was
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, and like I like the side quests and stuff. It's a pretty decent game.
For
Um,
sure.
what makes you like want to keep on making music and like
Hmm.
what's like keeping that like the engine like moving? What's keeping you writing music and stuff?
I definitely for sure call it, my passion. It's something that
Hmm.
I just kind of have to do. It's funny that I say it's passion, but it's also something that I have to do. It's kind of like in my system automatically when I, have some thoughts in my head. Like I just have like so many stuff on my cork board over there, just like, thoughts and stuff that I have down. And I kind of just want to, sing about my life and my experiences. It's
Hmm.
kind of like that sort of thing. It's kind of a yin and yang thing. Sometimes I don't really feel like having to write a song about something or, you know, having to put out music just for people to listen to. It's sort of
Mm-hmm.
for myself, but to just make a statement out there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I really like about your music is your life, what you're going through. You're talking to, it's your pretty much your diary that you're putting out there pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's relatable. People, that's why people resonate with it. Like a lot of people resonate with it, a lot. That's why the players are running up because people could tell when music is really about somebody's life and when it's coming from the heart, and that's why people gravitate towards that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I respect that. Like, that why that like keeps you going and stuff.
For sure.
Uh, like, and for a lot of artists, especially when you get older as like an adult and things, and you're trying to figure out life and stuff. I feel like people kind of like lose that, and they do want to go for the views. They do want to go for the shooting. Like I guess they call them clout rappers and stuff. Like they want to, they want to just shoot for that stuff and not like come from the heart. And a lot of people like forget that. It's kind of and it's what really like separates a lot of people. Artists that come from the heart from the artists that don't. You can tell it's a when you listen to the music, it's a very big like difference.
For sure.
Do you like? Can you tell when you listen to music? Can you tell when things are like original and it's like coming from like Can you tell like how do you feel about your radar with that?
I feel like over the years I can kind of easily spot, an artist now if, they're making art for, to make art or making art to, have a certain image to them or whatever. It's kind of like a pattern sort of these days with
Yeah.
artists. Cause like sometimes, it's genuine and then sometimes it's just not. It just, music's just constantly changing all the time. And, sometimes it can be hard to tell just because, you know, art's just changing all the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Music changes like a lot of things like just changing. The people that like adapt to it and change are the ones that they like you can tell like it's just really like when people adapt to the change that's like happening to, like with the times and everything, people adapt and change, and the people that don't adapt and change they figure it out in the end. It
Hmm.
just takes everyone learns at like their own pace. How do you
Oh,
feel
for
about
sure.
aliens? How do you feel about aliens?
I definitely think they exist somewhere. They're probably just listening into whatever we're talking about right now. I mean, I feel like aliens. They. I don't really know where my train of thought is going here, but I definitely think they're somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like anything could be possible. I mean, COVID is just like something people really didn't, think could happen, but look at it,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
destroying everything now. So,
I know it's that's yeah, it's
I mean,
crazy.
who knows? Aliens this year might just take over and, you know, give everybody COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
um the it was just crazy when COVID first happened because I remember when everything was just so normal and then everything just became not normal no more.
For
Like
sure.
do like how did you like the shift and everything? How did it make you like feel in the beginning?
I was kind of really scared. I mean, all of a sudden people were telling me like, "Oh, don't go outside, go get gas now before, the gas stations close." And I was like so confused, I didn't really
Yeah.
know how to feel. I was like, "Oh, this is going to like affect everything pretty much, with school and everything's going to be online." And I was like, "Oh my God, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have to do everything online now." And, it was honestly really stressful. I'm pretty sure the whole world was, breaking down at that point when people had to, quarantine like for days, weeks, months, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that shift was not something, you know, we want to go through again. So we just gotta be safer.
I really remember when I went to the store and there was no toilet paper.
Oh no.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that
was.
was so like that was
I
not
was
necessary at
so.
all.
I know I was so crazy. Like I didn't
Oh
need toilet
no.
paper because like our like at our store like the toilet paper was like right next to like some other stuff, and I was just like
Mhm.
just wheeling my cart and I just looked and I'm just like
There's like nothing there. I
yeah
mean,
I
yeah,
was
the
just
grocery stores were getting empty, because
yeah
quarantine. And
Yeah,
it was kind of sad, how are we gonna get water if
yeah.
people don't
If
have
everyone takes it all.
filters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water, yeah, you can't even be drinking the faucet water. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, if you gotta do what you gotta do, but there's so much like chemicals and stuff in that shit. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but shit, if you was drinking out the water hose when you was a kid, you all right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, you all right. Um, yeah, I want to get back on aliens for some reason because
Mhm.
I was watching this thing on you. Have you ever watched Cloverfield?
Cloverfield?
Yeah, Cloverfield.
I don't think so.
Oh, you
No.
gotta watch Cloverfield. It's have you ever seen Blair Witch Project?
Blair Witch Project, yes.
Okay, so imagine Blair Witch Project, but with a monster that is attacking New York City, and it's all
Mhm.
shot from first person, like kind of like in that like form of like filming. And it's so crazy.
Hmm.
But so there's Cloverfield, then there's 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then there's Cloverfield Paradox.
Hmm.
So apparently, so I watched Cloverfield Paradox, and Cloverfield Paradox, they try to harness the power of a star to give energy to Earth because Earth is running out of energy.
Oh
And then they,
no.
yeah, so and then they end up ripping
It's
a
kind of like
hole.
Final Fantasy 7 low key.
Yeah, some Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
some Final Fantasy type shit. And they rip like a wormhole through space, and it fucks everything up.
Hmm.
But I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think that that's gonna that could happen. Like there's like three different Earths. So there's an Earth that's trying to do that. There's our Earth, and then there's like another Earth that's like doing their own thing.
Hmm.
What if like we open like what if like another Earth in space? If that's how space works, like I don't know how I never seen space. Like do you think that there's like what do you call it multi like dimensions like multi
Alternate
dimension?
universes.
Yeah, alternate universes, the multiverse.
For a while I thought that was like what kind of like what dreams were.
Yeah.
I feel like when I dream I'm like in a different universe of myself and kind of going through weirder things than my, current reality. But
Yeah.
definitely think it could, be real. I mean, even if physics says it's not real, it probably could be, anything's possible nowadays.
Mm. Yeah, like have you ever seen The One? Do you know who Jet Li is?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie The One?
The one, I think a little bit of it a
All
long
right, so
time ago.
so that's pretty much multiverses and stuff. And
Hmm.
so like Jet Li's like multiverse stuff is trying to kill all the other Jet Li's and the other
Right.
multiverses. And I was watching that when I was like 11 years old or some shit. I was like, this is the craziest shit ever. I was like, what is the multiverse? I thought that was something that wasn't, I thought that was like made up in a movie. And then you find out that it's like an actual theory. And it's just crazy how we come up with like these things about space. And like it's so crazy how many people won't see space. Like, but
Right.
there's people that actually go up into space. Would you ever want to see space, or
For
would you?
sure. I actually like see a lot of TikToks with, how people live up there in their little spaceships and how they sleep. I definitely would like to try that one day, but it may never happen, just because I don't know. I feel like it would take a minute. I think what is it, SpaceX or
Yeah,
whatever?
SpaceX. Yeah,
SpaceX, yeah, whenever that's gonna happen, maybe. But
you know, it'd be dope if we had hotels in space,
hmm.
hotel resorts. Honestly, that would be kind of scary because you don't know if a meteor could like hit the like
Right.
that would be yeah that would
True.
be some shit. Yeah, that would look like what's that Final Fantasy what's that fuck. I forgot the Final Fantasy, but I'm playing the remake of it. They put the remake out, not Final Fantasy 7.
10.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 10.
Hmm.
Riku with Riku in it, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, they're
yeah.
going to space. Yeah.
Yeah. When what's that fucking evil thing called again? I don't know why I'm blanking. Maybe because I'm a little stoned, okay? But
Mhm.
but I forgot. Like it was, but it would be a situation like that though. It would be crazy if that happened. Honestly, we probably wouldn't even build hotels in space. That's too dangerous.
Yeah, I think
Like,
it would be too. I feel like they would need to like build something like around like whatever they have.
yeah. How do you feel about people going to like the Mars, like signing up to do that? Would you do that?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Oh,
That
I just
that
want
would
to
that would be cool. I mean,
Mars.
like the Red
Oh,
Planet, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe like build a studio up there alone and just make music.
If you had a time machine, where would you go? Like what time period would you want to like be in, or where would you go?
You know, I thought about this question. I think it was one of the Twitter questions, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought about it. It's like, you know, do I really want to go to the future though? Because I might, you know, just reincarnate and just end up in the future anyway. So I'd probably say somewhere in the past. You know, I feel like the 80s and 90s had the best music. So I'd probably want to
Hell
go
yeah.
somewhere there and see some of my favorite artists perform. You know, definitely see David Roback of Mazzy Star play the guitar again. And that would be so cool.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
know,
crazy.
I think that's what I would want to do.
Yeah. Um, you said you believed in do you believe in reincarnation? You said you would reincarnate and be in the future.
A little
You believe
bit.
in
Like I don't like, you know, write
I was
down
gonna
like,
say
oh,
like what is
please,
your
I don't want to reincarnate as this or whatever.
yeah.
But you know, it's possible. You know, there's definitely stories of people, you know, becoming. I don't even know how to like say this, but basically, I heard the story of this guy being born, and he was saying like weird things to his parents, and they like found out he was
Hey,
this
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, World War II
Yeah,
pilot or
yeah.
something, and he kept talking
Mm-hmm.
about his friend, and then like they finally figured out who he actually was in the past, and I definitely think you know that's a real thing.
You know what's
So
crazy? Uh so like I was listening to some stories. It's called it's this podcast called Mysterious Universe, and they were talking about
mhm.
stories like that. And there were like moms that got like abortions and stuff, and then they had like another
Mhm.
kid, and then the kid was like, "Mom, my first." The kid was like 5 years old, saying, "Mom, I forgive you." Like
Mhm.
I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." I'm like, maybe reincarnation is real. Like that's because I heard you like it really stuck out when you said that. So I was just like, "Oh, what do you think
Right.
about it?" Like, do you think it's possible? Do you think you think it's something that happens on this planet?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, you know, it's not like you could become anything, but it's just, you know, definitely. I feel like nowadays I just believe in anything, honestly. Because just because you
Yeah,
know how crazy the world's becoming,
yeah,
it's
that's what I
like,
was gonna
oh,
say.
you
Yeah,
know,
the
like
world is so
anything could
crazy.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world is just so mysterious. And I kind of believe like everything exists for some
Right. Yeah.
like yeah, like and it's kind of people that give like their energy to something, you know, they believe it and it's real to them. It may
Hmm.
not be real to some other people, but you know, people believe in things and
Yeah.
and people, you know, just believe in whatever they want. And yeah, like reincarnation, multi dimensions, different. I think that there's like different like level playing fields and stuff, and
Hmm.
like different like levels of like life. Like you can reincarnate or you can go somewhere else, type kind of like thing. Doing shrooms and things like that, kind of yeah. Like it was so like my first time doing shrooms. Actually, no. Oh, my most recent time doing shrooms, I did like an eighth, and
Hmm.
I looked up at the sky and it was crazy. Like it was geometric shapes and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, like is this like geometric like circles and like triangles and squares and like one like thing, and they were like spinning and shit. And I was just like, yo, I am fucking tweaking tripping balls right now. And I'm just like, there's like different, do you think space and like mathematics and things like that, do you think that's all like intertwined with like how like the structures of life?
With math, I mean, you know, like I
Like,
said, I kind of just think everything is, you know, possible now, you know.
yeah, like, and I just threw you a curveball ass question, but
Oh
like,
no.
yeah, yeah, just I was just thinking about that. I'm just like, yo, like life is so wild and so crazy, and people believe that a Yeti's real. People believe in the Loch Ness monster and shit like that.
Yeah, because like the
What
online, you know, everyone sees like crazy things, but you
what's the
know,
craziest thing you've seen? Like
the craziest thing like online or
online, real life.
hmm,
They ain't got
I
to
have
be
to,
too extreme. They gotta-
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of in
Something
a
that like just really blew your mind. Like I can't believe this is real.
Um, recently I saw a guy crack open an egg underwater, and it was like the weirdest thing. Like the egg was like kind of just like floating, and it looked like
That's
a
some
a weird creature. So
that's
that
some
was kind of
space and time shit right there.
yeah. I can't think of anything crazy. I mean, there's a lot of funny fight videos that are kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you binge fight videos? Do you watch them?
I
Do you
have
like watching?
someone who really likes to send me fight videos, even though I mean, like I won't say like I wouldn't care, but it's just like people are crazy nowadays. They'll fight anyone about anything. I mean, did you see Jason Derulo punch that
Yeah, it was
guy
funny as hell.
for being called Russian? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
anything like that could happen. But some things are also just could be set up. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
so it'll
Things
cause.
are so yeah, you can't tell what's real anymore.
Right.
Especially on the internet. Things can be faked. We got augmented reality.
Right.
And have you ever watched Sword Art Online?
Oh yes, long time
Do you,
ago.
do you think we'll get to that level?
I mean, VR chat and like whatever the meta. I don't think metaverse. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, I mean, VR chat's like a huge thing online now. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something like that where like your life could actually like be in danger, kind of thing. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
about that. I mean, I feel like who wants to create something like that? First of all, someone has to be really like sick in the head to create
But the
something like
dude
that.
hacked it though to make. Didn't he hack it to make it like that?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Someone that's like one of the things that I'll be really scared of. Like,
I
imagine
see that.
just being
Yeah,
in that. Yeah, imagine just being in that thing and you're just like, yo, I hacked the whole entire system, and if you die in real life.
right.
Like,
There's like flaws in it.
yeah, everybody will be wilding out. It'll be the craziest, like, it'll be
Right.
the craziest shit ever. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get to that level. The metaverse, in my opinion, is this is how I look at it. If people spent real money on like GTA money, you already in the if you already in the
Oh
metaverse.
yeah, GTA. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're that's what I'm saying. You're already in the metaverse.
I
If you
mean video
spending
games. Yeah,
yeah, if you're spending $200 on video game
you're
like
already there.
yeah, video game currencies and
Right,
things, you're already in the
you're already
metaverse.
living there. Yep.
Yeah. You're buying if you bought digital property in GTA with with hard earned real
Hmm.
cash, you're in the
Right.
metaverse. Because
Yep.
yeah, it's just a big GTA pretty much.
A giant GTA.
Yeah, giant GTA where you can do extra shit. That's how I look at the
Hmm.
metaverse. So you don't really know much about the metaverse, like you don't. How do you feel about NFTs and cryptocurrency? Do you think that's the new like wave of like where people are gonna like sway to? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, NFT is like so huge now. I mean, like when I heard about it, it was like so confusing to me. It's like you're really paying this much just to have like just so you can say like, oh, I own this thing or this piece of art. But I mean, people are into that stuff. I mean, I was low key thinking about, making some NFTs or whatever, but there's just a process to that, I guess, somehow.
You definitely gotta make some NFTs. You can get those off really fast.
Hmm.
Yeah. You should definitely make some. So you draw and everything. You do. When you how long you been doing that for?
Oh, I think I've been doing art longer than I've been writing music, to be honest. I think it started when I was like so tiny, like maybe like 7 or 8, and just drawing stuff and like drawing anime characters, even if I was like really bad at it.
Yeah.
Like I have a really funny Sora from Kingdom Hearts drawing that just like looks so like funny. Like his arm is like skinnier on one side and like the other side he's like holding the sword or whatever. And it's just yeah, but yeah, I've been doing art for like so many years, maybe like 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How do you feel like living in Texas? Like, what is like the daily like? What is like the life of just like what's the things that you like doing out there? What's life
Um,
like?
Definitely eating out and just hanging out with my best friend. We go shopping a lot, but it's kind of hard for us because, we kind of like to, buy things out of impulse and we're like, do we really need this? But, like it
Yeah,
feels good to just like buy stuff at the mall or like,
yeah.
go out and drink and stuff. The drinks here are just, I wouldn't say like totally expensive, but some places are, pretty pricey. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like we had a good time. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah,
that money back somehow.
yeah. Definitely. Um, so if you could, go anywhere right now or move anywhere, like Where would you go?
Definitely want to go to Japan sometime soon. I mean, I don't know if the borders are open. I just haven't been there before, just the one
Hmm.
place. I mean, I think a lot of people want to go to Japan, but it's also just a really beautiful country and the culture there is just, really cool.
Hmm. Do you ever see yourself making like the LA move to like do music, and do you see yourself doing that or trying it out?
I mean, I don't know about LA, maybe somewhere in California, but I don't know. I've just heard, a lot of, I wouldn't say bad things, but just a lot of things about LA. There's just
Yeah,
crazy people
yeah,
over there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's also a good community, low key. I know a lot of mutual artists live around there, so I
Hmm.
mean, I'd probably have to talk to them, and be like, hey, is it actually like nice living over there? But it's a
Yeah.
whole different vibe.
Hmm. So like, yeah, because I know a lot of people they want to make like the LA move or like a big city move to try something out or do something.
Hmm.
Um, but do you think nowadays with the internet and with everything going on, do you think you need to do that anymore? You think it's even worth it?
Mm, would it be worth it? I wouldn't really know, but I mean, maybe if there's like a particular, crowd you want to be with, I definitely think it's worth it. If you definitely
Hmm.
have a solid fan base over there, or, you have friends over there you can just, hang out with all the time. I feel like it'd be worth it. I wouldn't say like just move there just so you could, get the
Do
chance.
mute, yeah,
Yeah,
get the
you have
chance,
to
yeah,
like kind
yeah.
of calculate the pros and cons because I mean, I feel like for me, I wouldn't personally just move there just to
Do music.
yeah, just to do music. I
Hmm.
mean, there's
Hmm.
just a lot to it. I mean, LA's, I feel like it's pretty expensive. You'd have to, split rent with people, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And and you sound like a very calculated person.
Oh yeah, I kind of do
Yeah,
like
yeah,
planning and stuff.
yeah. Very calculated. That was a really good answer because some people they just wanna like go to LA or go to wherever to do music or whatever. They don't
Hmm.
really see the um sometimes you have to be realistic with some things and like certain things you got to like really like plan stuff out, and if you don't have a solid plan or you just think that, oh, I'm just going to go here and do this and not think about anything else, then you kind of
Yeah. Unfortunately, it
shoot.
happens to people.
You
But
kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. um so with everything, what are some of like the like Uh, I'm drawing a blank right now. My
you're
bad.
good.
um, with everything like we was talking about on the podcast and stuff, how are you feeling about 2022? How are you feeling about everything? Like just like the whole new year. How are you?
Hmm.
You excited? You ready to like take it on? You ready to turn up with everything? How you feeling?
I think a lot of stuff, mixed together. I'm obviously super excited, but also I'm still kind of in the middle of, what should I do now? Of course I want to,
Hmm.
make music, but there's also my PT license kind of just sitting here, and my parents are like, you should probably find a new job soon, and I'm kind of like, I feel like it'll happen when it happens because that's kind of how jobs are, you just gotta go
Hmm.
find it and, make it work. But right now I'm kind of just in a period of trying to do some personal growth stuff, just chill out, and I wouldn't say like chill out, but really slow things down a little bit mentally because I like again last year was just a lot of, rushing and doing this and that and,
Hmm.
constantly getting stuff done. But I mean, this year I'm just really, take it day by day kind of thing because I feel like it's a little bit hard nowadays just because, the older you get, the older you kind of have expectations from people, and for yourself, you just kind of really have to focus on what you want and about the things you want to get done yourself. It shouldn't be for, other people, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because people kind of get into trouble when they do stuff for other people or to impress like certain people, and it's just, it never really goes well in that direction. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to um find my way. I wrote a song
Hmm.
like so long ago, I just remember it was called Find My Way, and I think that's where I want to take my music, really make it myself, make it who I am today, and really just show people that, you can do this too. You can really make each day count and just, evolve like in your own way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess, oh, what were you gonna say?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, some advice for people who, are kind of scared to, like, take a chance on whatever they want to do. You should just do it. I mean, I kind of have this mindset of, this is the last year I'm gonna live or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, definitely do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I really like respect that, and it's so hard for a lot of people to like do that and like take that chance
Mm-hmm.
um and really go for it because you only got one life to live,
Right.
and a lot of people, they just want to get comfortable and not really chase their dreams because chasing their dreams, if you chase your dreams, you got to take risks.
Yeah.
You gotta. It takes a lot of failures and stuff,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and then sometimes people fail the first time and they quit and they don't want to do it anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
everything, it takes a lot of you want to fail quickly so you can learn. But if you don't fail
Mm-hmm.
at all, then it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just really gotta take chances and stuff.
Yeah.
Besides getting serious, there's some. I got a couple of fan questions.
Oh, for sure.
Um, okay. Someone says, favorite character from Finding Nemo.
Favorite character from Finding Nemo. I'd probably say Dory because I kind of relate to her sometimes when I forget some things and I feel like I'm just swimming in a circle. Or that cool turtle dude that's like, dude, or like,
Yeah,
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 he is pretty cool. I mean, Finding
yeah.
Nemo has a lot of, yeah. I mean, that movie has a lot of cool characters. I'd say.
hmm have you ever used the law of attraction for career growth?
Ooh, law of attraction. That's some really fun stuff. The thing about law of attraction, you're not really physically attracting things. It's kind of like a mental thing, but you're also not doing anything mentally. Like that quote, it's like, don't chase anything, just, you attract it. You kind of think about it for a little bit and then, don't think about it at all. You just act like it's already yours. And
Hmm
that's kind of how I feel about music. Like I kind of in the writing process, I'm like, oh, I'm already doing it. I'm gonna get this finished. It's kind of, it's not as easy as, some people think, but the law of attraction is definitely something I wouldn't say like I use, but I definitely think about it sometimes. But it's,
hmm
for anything like manifestation, it's
Yeah, yeah,
getting really popular. And I definitely think it's a good thing for people because people like to get obsessed about goals.
yeah. Hmm
You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah, definitely.
manifesting is like pretty healthy. I wouldn't say it's, terrible, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really believe in that because one of the things that I do when I'm getting ready to do like a stand-up show, I really envision like the crowd laughing at the joke. I envision everything like happening. I try
That's
to like
awesome.
create like the mind movie in my head. So when I'm going out there, I'm already mentally ready and I know what needs to happen.
Hmm.
Manifesting it like just before the show even starts, like it'll be a week before the show. I'm already envisioning the crowd laughing. I'm already envisioning, everyone interacting and stuff.
Hmm.
The law of attraction is. I don't know if it's real or not, but if you can see it in your mind, then you can create it in real life, and
Right, for
it can
sure.
appear right in front of you.
Hmm.
Um, someone said, if I said play a song right now, what would it be?
Hmm. Maybe my most played song last year was Cherry Colored Funk by Cocteau Twins, which is a really classic song by them. But I would probably play that song right now just so everyone else could hear it. When it's one of those songs you just want to play really loud and get everyone like, oh, like who is that, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. hmm let me see. If you were the president for one day, what would you do?
I didn't really think about that one. Maybe just print like a bunch of money, print a bunch of money, and then just like take helicopters and just like throw it everywhere and then watch
Yeah,
everybody like go crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know, do stuff where the government wouldn't allow it because it would just cause craziness. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be pretty lit, low key. Yeah, it's kind of hard to think about a question like that because there's like so many things that like the president like really can't do.
Right.
Because
I
it
mean, does
has
the
to
president
all.
even, I guess he does kind of,
He kind of
regulate.
has power. Yeah, he kind of has
Yeah.
power. Kind of doesn't.
Right.
Like that's that kind of like thing because people have to like go through like certain like voting laws and stuff like that. Or
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Someone said, "Is USA a good place to live? And do you want to live in another country or state?"
USA definitely has, opportunities over here that, other places wouldn't. But
Hmm.
what was the second part to that question?
And do you want to live in another country or state?
Um, I mean, I've been Texas bound for like my whole life. I definitely want to move out somewhere, I feel like I wouldn't even really mind. Well, of course I'd mind where it would be, but
Hmm.
I don't know, just somewhere probably not too expensive, but just somewhere with nice views and somewhere to make music and, live my life.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. Like Colorado would honestly is one of my places.
Hmm.
Tennessee. Let me see what else. Tennessee, Colorado. I would definitely say like Washington State area. I've,
Hmm.
I watched like drone view videos of that place 'cause I've never been there, but that place looks like the Lord of the Rings was shot there. Like it looks,
The Lord of the
yeah, it looks like a crazy. It looks like a crazy place.
Rings.
Let me see. Uh, Someone asked, "What do you do when you're sad?"
What do I do when I'm sad? I think I just kind of let it happen. Like, there's something that I really can do to just, make myself happy, like right away. I mean, I'll like play with my hamster for a little bit and that makes me happy, I guess. But,
Yeah.
I kind of just let it happen, listen to music so you can become more sad. Um, I'll obviously maybe write some stuff about my thoughts, how I'm feeling, maybe, use it to my advantage, kind of. That's kind of how music is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I would just let it happen. It's okay to be sad sometimes, but
Hmm.
also find little things that make you happy. Drink Thai tea, for example. Drink your favorite drink, or
Yeah.
talk to your friends, or
Hmm.
listen to your favorite song, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I like when I'm sad or if I feel like down about anything, I just love doing comedy. I like talking to comedians. It's just
Mhm.
like because I always feel really happy like after like everything's all like done and stuff. And I just feel really good. I'm just like, man, like doing things that I like to do pretty much like relieves me of sadness.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
and just realizing when you're like for me, like realizing when I'm sad, I'm just like, this is just an emotion that I'm feeling in this moment.
Yeah.
And and I'm just gonna accept like, these feelings and stuff like in this moment. And it's not
Hmm.
gonna last forever.
Yeah.
Um let's see. Um Someone asked, what kind of teenager were you?
Uh, um, I wouldn't really say I was a bad teenager, but I feel like teenagers are often troubled people sometimes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think I was a really chill teenager. I feel like I kind of hung out with a lot of, different kinds of people and listened to a lot of different kind of, music. I think I was just a really laid back, I didn't really have like a back, that's like the thing. Like I was kind of just
Hmm.
like a yes ma'am kind of thing, and I would just, kind of, I wouldn't say like I'd let people like walk all over me, but I kind of hung out with, some people who weren't, very nice, but it
Hmm.
just happened.
Yeah. And that's like the thing about like growing up as a teenager, you're figuring life out and you're
Right.
just a
You're
small adult.
you're a
Like
small bean. Yep.
yeah, and then they pack you in this facility that's like a jail, which
Yeah.
is school, and then
Hmm.
like you have these different cliques and stuff. And then they act like kids should just be normal. Like they act like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't just put all these kids in like one facility and act like people aren't gonna like like just like wild out as like children or
Yeah.
do
Thinking
like
about it, I was a super anxious teenager, in high school.
yeah
Like I felt like for some reason like everyone was judging me, even if I knew like now, like nobody's like even looking at me.
yeah.
Yeah, just
And
how it is.
Yeah, like high school is so wild, and then when people get older and stuff, you see when people like grow up and shit like that, and it's just crazy to see like where everyone goes in life.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I've had like homies that like passed away and stuff, and it's like
Mm,
crazy.
yeah,
Like you know when you like grow up and like you like see like life like happen and like and it's just a life is just a wild ride and
for sure.
yeah, and with what you said about like taking that next step in life, like you gotta for people that listen to this, I really hope that they like that's what they do, like after listening to
Yeah.
like this kind of thing. Want to get back to some questions. When you write a song, where does the inspiration come from to write lyrics?
I think a lot of things. I really have to kind of get into it. Just think about what I want to write about, and like my last song, I took some time on it. Didn't like people think that I write songs pretty quickly, but it takes some time. I guess I would just say like whatever is going on in my mind at that moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of good things, bad things, yin yang, kind of thing when I'm
Mm-hmm.
songwriting. And I would just say like because there's just so many things that inspire me when I write music. I think about movies that I've seen or things I hear just like walking down the street or at stores. I just like to
Yeah.
take everything. I mean, I've been reading a couple books, or well, just one book, but I'm starting to read more this year and just getting inspiration from that. There's just so many
Mm-hmm.
things that can inspire you as an artist, and
Do
definitely
movies
taking.
inspire you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll actually have a. I used to have a separate monitor where I would actually play like clips of movie scenes where like the visuals just look so good, and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
get inspiration from that and just write down lines and stuff and kind of just write how I view that that visual, and there's just a lot that inspire me
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
A lot of the like one of the movies that really inspired me is I really like Kill Bill and
Mm,
I like the movie
classic.
I like the movie Blade.
Mhm,
Like Wesley Snipes as Blade was just the like the you've seen Blade before, haven't you?
mhm.
The first one, like Blade, is just crazy. Like it was one of the
Yeah,
first, like I think it was one of the first Marvel movies to come out too.
I think
It was
so.
just yeah, like, it was just like the whole like and I don't know if you've seen the movie before. It's called Paid in Full, and
Don't think so.
you gotta watch. You gotta check that out. It's a nigga classic. You know what I'm saying? You gotta check it out. All right, I'm gonna get into a couple more, and then what's
Yeah.
your favorite thing about your hometown?
I feel like that's such a hard question because everyone's hometown is, their hometown. You can't
Yeah.
really just choose one thing like, oh, well, I mean, there's a couple good, restaurants and coffee shops that I like to kind of alternate between. There's just a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of things to do, but just, places to drive by and just, do casual things. Everything's kind of like really close together, and I guess that's what I like about it. You know.
Mhm,
But I mean, I
mhm.
feel like other places are are like that too. But just I guess for me, it's just really homey. Just like seeing the same, streets and houses and where things are. I think that's what
Mhm.
makes like your hometown your hometown.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm, mhm. Someone said, "How did you come to find your own sound?"
Hmm. As like a songwriter, it's not the same as a producer. Because producers are able to make their own sound like in a way. They
Hmm.
have certain things that they use. But as a songwriter, I
Hmm.
guess I kind of just, started writing what sounds good to me as I sing it. I think over the years, like my change of, songwriting has definitely brought me to different kinds of melody work. And, I think it just took a lot of time. How did I find my sound? Like, I don't know. I just did what I always did. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's all just trial and error, just
Yeah.
writing and
Right.
practicing, and yeah, that's really what it really is, and just not giving up and just keep on like pursuing,
Yeah.
like because uh, what like what what was like your most favorite song that you ever written?
Mm. This is a question that I get like 24/7.
Because
Um,
someone asked this.
I think my mind kind of just like always goes blank. I get this question a lot because I kind of change the answers here and there. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like I guess top three songs. I guess Tension, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really fun one. I kind of rewrote it a couple times, but I really like the way that one went.
Mm-hmm.
We Still Got It Good. That was the first song I wrote in 2020. Um, and then I guess my most recent one, that was honestly a really fun one to write because it was so simple, but I wanted to really create the mood of how I wanted to feel while listening to that song. And even
Mm-hmm.
though the lyrics are really simple, they just, stand out to me just because, it's an experience kind of thing and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. One of I it's still to this day. Um, The Girl Who Lives Underwater,
Mm-hmm.
hands down.
That
That's
one
my
for
favorite.
sure.
That's my favorite one. That's how I discovered. That's how I discovered you as
Mm-hmm.
on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I was like, damn, like this is because I don't like I listen to like a different variety of music. So like my SoundCloud feed would just come in with like just a bunch of like different like like random like
Yeah.
things. And I would always check like my feed. I tell people I'm like y'all dissing like the feed because y'all only want to like look up whoever hot. But like
Right.
the way you find new artists is just by listening to music, not just
Yeah.
focusing on
Just
like what's like the
what's
hottest
popping.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You really gotta like search and find like your own, like whatever's popping, yeah, like listen to it is dope. But if you really like want to like broaden like your range of music, there's so much music, there's
There's
so
so
many
much.
artists.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, there's so many like artists that like I've never heard of, but I found out about them just from giving like other music a chance.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like thanks to the internet, I think that's like the biggest W about the internet is that you can go from here to there like so quickly. That's how, hobbies and, favorite artists, bands are created just from,
Hmm.
one click and then, that's where it all starts.
Hmm. What are some producers or artists that you would like to work with?
You know, um, I feel like right now I'm just working with a couple of producers that I really like now. Still working on a song with Recycle Bin, the producer that I worked with last time, and
Hmm.
a beat that Taylor Morgan. He's another super talented producer. I feel like I want to work with more like if I could go back in time, sort of thing. There's just like I said, my inspirations right now are just older artists, and
Yeah.
I feel like right now it's just kind of hard to find artists that you really want to work with when your inspirations are people from back in
Yeah,
time. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's and I definitely like relate to that. I love a lot of like music from I've been listening to like a lot of like older like sound like just sounds in general. I've been listening to a lot of I'm about to just already just go to my I don't know why, but for some reason I downloaded I downloaded just from going through like my memories as a child. I was listening to Backstreet Boys. I was like, yo, like why were these dudes
Good.
so hot? I was like, why were these dudes so hot back then? Like well, how and like they was hot like just making music and like they was just I was like, was this the first like boy band ever made type shit? I was just like, this is crazy. And then I find out that no, they weren't the first boy band. Like there's like the Korean like the like with BTS and shit like that.
Yeah,
Listening
K-pop.
to like yeah, like there's
Yeah.
like older K-pop groups and shit. I was just like, yo,
Oh,
I'm
for
like, they
sure.
was
Yeah.
the yeah, and like I just went through like a rabbit hole of like just bands and like these K-pop or like boy bands and stuff. And I'm just like, yo, like they really like been putting these bands together
Hmm.
for the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy and that's so crazy. To like to just like see and it just shows that like how do you feel about industry plants? Do you think that those are real? Do you think do you think that's like a real thing that these labels create these characters and they put them out there?
Sort of, but it's also like, they're still, human beings. It's not like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
just can't. But I mean, yeah, obviously there's, people who are, privileged enough to like be in that spot, but they don't
Hmm.
really use that to their advantage sometimes and they kind of just do whatever the media or, their label wants them to do. But
Hmm.
it's just a thing that exists,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
artists. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's I feel like that'd be like just a crazy like predicament to like be in because you kind of get to do what you want to do, but you kind of don't. You got to listen to, like you said, you got to listen to whatever the label like tells you what to do.
Yeah.
All right. Mental health. Someone asked, like, well, like I don't think it just says mental health. So, like, what? How do you feel about it? What is
Mhm.
like your thoughts and viewpoints on it? Like, where how do you view that subject?
Mental health is definitely something that I've started to prioritize over the years. I feel like I didn't really pay attention to that much in high school just because, there's a lot of things going on. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, mental health is definitely something that everyone should, prioritize this year or just, in general. Like,
Mm-hmm.
definitely learn to put yourself first, give yourself some time to reflect on how you feel and what you want to, do like today, tomorrow, just
Mm-hmm.
focus on what makes you truly happy. Because some people, I feel like they're too worried about what other people think and whatever is going on in their lives. They don't really think
Mm-hmm.
about, themselves, like self-awareness,
Yeah.
mental awareness is being aware of yourself and your emotions. You can't just constantly be a robot every day. It's definitely
Yeah.
wears you down. Yeah.
Yeah. That part right there. And definitely people that are like caught up in like a job that they don't like it's okay to leave that job and find something else.
Mhm.
Like, because some people
Yeah,
get so
that's for
comfortable,
sure.
yeah. Some people get so comfortable, like, and they're scared to leave because it has that sense of security. But
Mhm.
if you're going crazy up here, there's no reason, there's no way, like you
Right,
should
yeah.
like, and you
You
know that
definitely
it's fucking
shouldn't.
with, yeah, and you know it's fucking with your head. Find something else to do. It's okay.
Yeah, I
Like,
think some people don't really understand that. They think
yeah,
that a job is kind of, where you're set for in life, but that's not
mm-hmm,
it. I definitely
yeah,
think
yeah.
if like you're in your 20s, 30s, you should still be able to figure
Figuring
it
out,
out, because
yeah.
I've been watching a lot of videos from doctors like, they do this much amount of years of school and then at the end they're like, why did I do that? You know what I mean? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you kind of just have to prioritize yourself sometimes. A
Yeah,
job is
yeah.
a job is a job, you're you,
And find something. And if you do get a job that you're passionate about. Like,
All right.
yeah, like if you want to, help people and do things like that, do it. Like, don't just get like a job just because you need, like, want a job or some shit. Like, it's
Hmm.
not, at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Do something that you really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I really like see like mental health. How I see it is like you said, like just prioritizing how you feel,
Yeah.
and how and like obviously prioritize how you feel, but realize everybody else got feelings and you got to respect that as well.
Mm.
But if something's not making you happy or feel like you're just happy in the heart and in the mind, get away from it.
Yeah.
Do something, like, it's okay. Like, you'll find something else to do. You'll, like,
Yeah.
it's people have like a hard time of like stepping away from like things, or just like moving on. People people still feel like trapped in like certain things mentally. And it's hard for people to like break out of it. And when you do, it's like the best feeling ever. 'Cause you just feel good about yourself after you leave like anything that's like toxic, work wise, friendship wise, anything. It's
Yeah,
just,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
The comfort kind of keeps people in like this bubble. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
something that happens like, all the time. I mean, that's why there's this book I'm reading called You Are the Placebo. And it's basically if you think the same thoughts every day, that leads to the same behaviors and emotions. So that's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
you living in the past. So you really have to do something new every day. Think of, new things and just talk to people. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
a connection thing. If you
yeah.
connect to anything, you're thinking new things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. When did you realize that like you wanted to start prioritizing like your mental health and everything that you want to do moving forward with your life?
I think it was like senior year of high school. I think I didn't really have that many friends, and I was kind of alone. I mean, I was in this period of not really talking to my current best friend for a while, so I was kind of on my
Mm-hmm.
own for a little bit, and I was kind of like, I really just want to help myself here and just figure out what I want to do from here on out. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that just set the tone for, my prioritization of, my mental health.
Hmm. Well, see, you was way ahead of the game because when I was 18, I was definitely not like,
Mm.
yeah, I was just like, man, like it's still lit. Like we're 18. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like that's how I was pretty much like thinking. I was like, it's still lit. And then like I started like prioritizing like the whole like mental health stuff. I would say around like 1920s. But like I was aware of it at like 18 to like 19, but like it wasn't like, you know, my like number one like priority at the time.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you definitely was way ahead of the game like senior year because like like when you're in high school and stuff, like your parents would tell you like, hey, this stuff is like all happening right now, but when you leave high school, like it's not the same. And like
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna do all these other things. Did your parents like have like those kind of like conversations with you as a when you were in high school?
Mm, not really. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
like I mean, I wouldn't say like I'm like so close to my parents, but I know they care about me. I just haven't really like had a talk like that, one on
Yeah,
one, like
yeah,
let's talk about this. But because
yeah,
in other cultures, I guess, for instance, my culture, they think that like depression is like kind of like a mental like I mean, there's just something wrong with you if you have depression, and they don't want
yeah.
that, for their kids. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it just depends on, your culture too.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, like in the in the Black community, they look at like depression and things like that as like they be like, stop playing, nigga. Like that's like
Yeah.
like that's how like you'll get that sometimes. And then sometimes you'll get like those cousins that really like take you seriously. But yeah, you got people that don't take you seriously. You got some people that do take you seriously. It's kind of like it's the roll of the dice, like
Yeah.
yeah, in like our culture. Um, Let me see. Ooh,
Oh, sorry.
you
That was
good?
really
You good?
loud.
Someone asked, "What's your favorite flower?"
Ooh, I feel like I'm basic with flowers. I really like roses or baby's breath, I think. But
Baby's
yeah, I
breath.
guess just, I mean, I'll never like say, oh, that flower's so ugly.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but I guess like roses or baby breath are my top two favorites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't go wrong with roses.
Right? Roses are just
You
so
can't.
like
Yeah, you
stable the
can't go
most.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Yu Yu Hakusho. What's dude's name? Do the rose whip and shit. What's that?
I
Uh,
haven't watched Yu
yeah.
Yu Hakusho.
You
Yu Yu
ever watch Yu Yu
Hakusho.
Hakusho?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that. Okay. One more question. Someone asked, will you be doing more art this year?
Yeah, for
Putting it
sure.
out.
Yeah, I was like cutting stuff out for my merch, just like
Oh shit.
drawing and stuff. And
That's definitely dope.
yeah, I definitely just, I'm still working on my art and like
Okay.
what kind of techniques I want to use because I'm still doing like traditional like painting stuff or,
Mm-hmm.
ink. But maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
do more digital art this year. Who knows?
Okay. All right. So what could the fans and just people in general just look forward to with like everything?
I guess in general, more stuff for me, definitely putting out this merch and hoping to put more art and maybe that'll lead to different kinds of merch in the future, definitely more music and
Mm-hmm.
just everything. I just really want to push myself this year and be smarter about
Yeah, yeah.
how I am scheduling my stuff because I feel like this month, oof, like I kind of took in like a lot of stuff last year. Like I was like, okay, yeah, I'll help on your song, but it's just super busy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with like planning stuff out more. I've been trying to put things on my calendar, kind of like I've been trying to like make like little like notes and stuff for like
Yeah.
myself. Like I got to do this, I got to do that. I've been trying to get into that kind of groove. When you think about dropping the merch, like what time frame you think that
Um,
will?
Definitely maybe early February, end of this month, sometime
Okay.
soon. Like I already have like a couple designs like already set,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, sometime
So
soon.
okay. Anything that you want to plug?
Um, I mean, I guess like just the usual stuff, like my social media or whatever.
Social
Follow me
media.
on Stream My Music or whatever. Just like shout out to all my friends, all my artist mutuals, everyone that I have like done music with, and all my friends, and I guess like the collective I was in before Dying in the Cut. Everyone in there, just as per
Mm-hmm.
usual. My family, my friends, just everybody. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out everybody all the
Hell
time. That's all I can
yeah.
say.
All right. Well, this is the Scottie Show. This is Keiko. Keiko,
Kaiyko.
thank you. Keiko, my
Yeah.
bad.
No, you're good.
My bad.
No, you're good.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.